sit, sit. This is Wally, who in this video I'm going to go over some impulse control things. Basically, Wally had a bad experience at a pet store where he was boarded at, and ever since then he just freaks out when he sees men. So I'm going to talk about in the Roadmap to Success video below this some more stuff, but in this video I want to show you some ways where you can teach him how to develop some impulse control. So basically, when I first came up, he just started screaming as soon as he, well, not as soon as he saw me. He got a trailer of treats, and then as soon as I moved once, he started screaming. And basically, he didn't really have a lot of rules. He didn't have a lot of structure, and I think that he thinks that he has the same rank and authority than his humans, and he can tell them what to do because they listen to him. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to teach the leave it exercise. Wally, now when I first do this, I have a high-value stinky treat in my hand. The first stage is I just do this. I'm waiting for him to disengage, and then I give him a treat. I'm not saying leave it at this stage. All I'm trying to do is introduce the concept of stopping. If you stop challenging the human, good things will happen. Here, buddy. And you don't have to do this very much. You only have to do this a couple times. And as soon as the dog backs away, you give him a treat. So that's the first stage. The second stage is I'm going to take a treat and I'm going to drop it on the ground. Now I have a treat in each hand. The way I like to do this is I like to put my hands here with the dog's in between. I don't want to drop with the dog's right on top of me because he's just going to go grab it. So I'll bring him in here and I go like this. I want to drop for about 3 inches. You want to see it? Leave it. Now I am saying leave it because leave it means leave something on the ground. So what I did was at first what you do when you drop this, you drop it and collapse or cage it, and then you hover and then you go higher and higher is the kind of the process. And don't like touch his nose and then drop it because that's like giving it to him. So I'm going to go over here. I just want to do it away from his head and put this other hand behind his back. So, be quicker than the dog. Now you saw there he was looking at my hand. I should have said leave it there. So the first stage, you want to get to the point where you're able to eventually just hover. And so you just keep on going. As soon as he disengages, then you give him the treat. He's already progressed pretty far. So I'll drop. I'm waiting for him to look at me. There you go. And I give him the treat and say leave it, and then I pick this one up. He never gets the one that's on the ground. So this is I'm introducing the concept to him because there's one thing, activity that he likes doing that he's just not going to take no for an answer. I'm going to talk about it and show you in a second. So I'm mirroring him. So he took a step and I moved closer. Leave it. And then always pick it back up. So if he takes one step, I go a little bit and I stop when he stops and I go when he goes. You can't let him get it like I did the lazy way. All right, so that's basically teaching him the concept of the leave it exercise. Now, this is his absolute favorite thing to do. And you see he's already animated. He loves to play fetch. So basically, a way that you can incorporate some impulse control is a regular day-to-day activity in games. So I went over petting with the purpose of path training, which will help with that. Wally, come here. The Guardians had not really taught him a drop command. So a drop command is you just wait for the dog to have something in his mouth, hold a treat in front of them, and just wait for them to drop it on their own. When they drop it, pop the treat in their mouth, say the word drop, and then don't pick up the item. Now, it's important you do that. If you physically take it away from him each time, he starts to think you're a thief. Wally, come here. So we're going to play fetch. We're going to play it under my game, my rules. Come here, Wally. Wally, come. So sit, and then as I throw it, I say fetch. Well, normally he would pick it up, and then I would say fetch when he picks up with his mouth, and then I would hold the treat up, and when he dropped it, then I pop the treat in his mouth and say fetch as well. So for fetch, which is one of the primary ways that he gets his energy burned out, is I recommend the Guardian start adding some structure to fetch. So basically, he's got to bring the ball and drop it, and only when he drops it will I actually pick it up. I'm not going to tell him to drop. I'm going to first, when he has toys, just hold that treat out to get him used to dropping and having the command word. Once we've achieved that, then when he brings me the ball and he comes up to me, he's got it in his mouth, I'm going to say drop. If he drops it, then I'll pick it up and then throw it. I'm going to throw it and say fetch. When he picks up, I say fetch. When he gives me the treat, I say fetch. After a while, he's going to come start just dropping the ball right in front of you. Then what I would say is sit. Wally, sit. Fetch. There we go. Fetch. sit, fetch, fetch, sit, now, if you say it multiple times, you're just saying, I don't mean it. Now, he probably got a little excited and forgot. After we've done this a while, he won't forget. That's why we just hold it like that and not say anything to him until he offers you the behavior that you want. And as soon as he offers the behavior, at this point, it's been long enough I can say it again. Wally, sit. He's looking for more treats. So if he doesn't sit, then we don't throw it. And then maybe the game stops and I go over there and hang out. Wally, this is the part where you're supposed to be really enthusiastic for fetch. Wally. Wally. So eventually, when you're playing fetch and he's really aroused it, obviously I'm not achieving it here, then every once in a while, pull out the ball and he comes near it. Leave it. If he sits or lies down, then you can give him a treat and say leave it. And the idea is to gradually increase the length of time that he has to leave it. Because right now the problem is when his guardians get done playing fetch, he doesn't want to quit. And he just goes whines and whimpers. And sometimes they hide the ball or take it away and he just whines and whimpers at him. Well, this time we just put it right in front of him. Put it in front of you watching TV. And if he goes for it, you have to be able to make sure he can't steal it from you. Don't let him do that. But after a while, he's practicing not getting the ball. He's practicing not doing something he really wants because his guardians have told him he's not allowed to do that. He needs to practice learning no. So basically, there are other ways that you can do this, like for feeding him. When he gets, right now he's free fed, so he probably won't have a problem, but after a while, he'll start getting excited for food. So hold him his food and tell him to sit and just stand there and wait. And as soon as he sits, then put the food down. Here we go. After a while, you want to find ways where he's got to do something or he gets something that he wants. And then you gradually start elongating. So when he comes and drops the ball, you leave it, you say, leave it. And he sits there and then at first maybe it's 2 seconds before he pick it up and throw it. Then 4 seconds. And elongating the process, we think of going in the ball as the exercise. Sitting here and not getting the ball when that is a lot of exercise for him. That also helps him develop self-control, respect for his humans as authority figures, and will help with a lot of that crying that he does that I just think is a lot of anxiety that he is. I don't think at this point he's even aware why he does that or how much he does that. Because I think when he does that, he gets an immediate picking up or petting from his guardians. Remember, you should never pet a dog that's in a fearful state or an anxious state. Really, any state of mind the dog is in when you pet is what you're specifically amplifying. So when you guys come home, don't pet him. Don't even look at him when you come home. And he's going to be all excited. As soon as he calms down, let's say this is him. As soon as he finally calms down, I reached for him. I'm only reach this much. He starts wiggling, pull my arm back, and continue about what I'm doing. So I'm saying when you're overexcited, you become invisible to me. But as soon as you sit or do things I want, you become very attractive. I want to pet you. But as soon as you get excited, you're invisible. After a while, the dog will learn this is the behavior that I need to exhibit in order to get something from my humans. Well, I would normally say this is Wally, but Wally just went outside and did a little bit of business. So this is how you can teach the leave it command, as well as some examples of how you can use different exercises and techniques to help your dog develop some impulse control.